Willie D Live.
There's a hotly contended congressional seat up for grabs in Houston. And Jasmine Crockett is supporting one of the candidates. And that support has drawn the ire of many people in Houston who supports her candidate's opponent. The two candidates in question, Amanda Edwards and Christian Menifee. You got people who are on Amanda's side, many of who were supportive or have been supportive of Jasmine Crockett, who are now pulling their support for Jasmine because she's supporting this guy, Christian Menifee. I'm not really familiar with him. I am familiar with Amanda, but I'm not familiar with him. He's pretty much like over the last few years been new on the scene, but he is a Houstonian, and he attended the University of Texas at San Antonio, and he also went to Washington University in St. Louis. But he is a candidate for the 2025-26 Texas 18th Congressional District special election, which Greg Abbott took forever to announce a runoff date for. They've been playing games with that seat, trying to influence the outcome of the midterms. So there are a number of people who are up in arms about Jasmine Crockett supporting the guy on your right. This is what I had to say about Jasmine Crockett endorsing Christian Menifee. It's hard for y'all to read it, but this is what I had posted on Facebook today. I said, as a citizen, Jasmine Crockett endorsing Christian D. Menifee over Amanda Edwards is her right and personal choice. What really matters is the 18th Congressional District is who's already been doing the work, not who has the louder endorsements. A Jasmine Crockett endorsement carries weight, but Amanda's supporters shouldn't be panicking. If voters truly know the issues and genuinely care about the community the way they say they do, no single endorsement should be powerful enough to shake their judgment. There's no reason to tear Jasmine down. She's doing what everybody else, including Houstonians who are mad at her, does in politics, using her voice to support the person she believes can win. Our community doesn't need more division. Focus should stay on which candidate is actually showing up, serving the district, and putting in the work right now. Do what you want, but here's how I look at politics. People always ask, if you could talk to your younger self, what advice would you give? What they never ask is, what resources would you give yourself? Advice is cool, but back then I needed resources. So when I think about voting or endorsing a candidate, I'm thinking about who I can put in that seat that would have given a 15-year-old Willie D the help he actually needed. I think about the 15-year-old Willie Ds out there today and all the kids like I was, the ones dealing with abuse, neglect, hunger, and uncertainty. Which candidate is most likely to bring resources that support their education, create pathways to real jobs, and protect their mental health? That's the lens I use. That's how I choose who deserves my vote or my voice. And that's what I'm standing on, fam. I don't get caught up in, this person, that person. Hey, man, the work speaks for itself. Just look at the work. Like, what have you done? What are you doing? And what have you done? Because a lot of these candidates, they only come around for the black vote when they run their campaigns and they lack votes. This is something Brad said. Let me see, Ghetto Fantasy. So we had a song, Ghetto Boys had a song called Ghetto Fantasy. And Brad part, Scarface, he had a part on there where he said, because they only come around to the black folks when they run their campaigns, and they lack votes. So you got those politicians like that. They only come around to the black folks when they run their campaigns and they lack votes. So I'm not with that. Like, what work have you done? Show me the work. and I'll show you the vote. I'll show you the endorsement. Let me see what kind of work you've done. And I'm not saying that you had to even be a politician before, because you got to start somewhere, right? But you can start in the community. You don't have to be a politician to have a positive effect on your community. You don't have to be a politician to have an impact on young people's lives or even old people's lives. You don't have to be a politician. Every single person within the sound of my voice have the capacity to give, to serve. Everybody can do that right now. You don't even have to have money. You can serve. You can serve with your time. You can give time. Sometimes, in life, sometimes you have more money than you have time, so you give more money. Sometimes you have more time than you have money, so you give more time. That's life. You don't have to have money to serve. Some of y'all out there that's listening may have been addicted to drugs at one point. You may have been suicidal at one point. You can join a phone bank. You can join one of those phone banks and answer the phone when people are calling that need somebody to talk to. They just need somebody to talk them off the ledge, man. You can do that. You can be a drug counselor. You don't need money. You can decide how much of your time you want to give. You can give 30 minutes a week. You can give an hour a week, or you can turn it into a career. It's up to you. But there is no excuse for any of us to not serve. There is no excuse at all. Because all of us benefit from service. All of us benefit from service. And in life, you should give more than you receive. This is why when I contact somebody, like if I call somebody that I know, like a friend, and I call for something, if I call for a favor, that favor is usually granted because I give more than I ask for. I give. So we can all be of service. We can all serve. You can serve by simply being in your neighborhood. You can be in your neighborhood. That could be a kid in your neighborhood that you see everybody's scared of. They don't want to be nowhere around them. You see that kid, man, and you just stop and speak to that kid and just act. You'd be surprised what you learn from a child in just 5 minutes. Change your whole perspective about that kid. And it might change his life or her life. Just that little 5 minutes showing that you care. Oh, we can serve, man. We can serve. We are better than what we think we are. We're stronger than what we think we are. We're more resilient than we think we are. I think that in this case, in the case of Jasmine Crockett she's a national treasure. And she's a soldier. She's a fighter. So obviously, if Jasmine Crockett gets behind somebody, there are going to be people that look at her and say, man, well, if Jasmine Crockett is behind them, they must be all right. And there are going to be people that say, okay, I'm going to vote for her. I'm going to vote for him because Jasmine says so. But a more studious voter, a more conscious voter is going to say, well, if Jasmine is behind him, must be something there. Let me look into it. You're going to look into it, and then you're going to make your decision based on what you discover, not what Jasmine says. So Jasmine's voice should be the voice that makes you go, well, I never heard of that guy. Let me look him up. Right? Let me look him up. Might make you sway. But let me look him up first, and then I'll conclude. Because I ain't no robot. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. You can give me some advice. You can offer your advice, but ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna make the conscious decision because I gotta live with that decision. If I go send this dude to Congress to represent me, if I send that dude to Congress to represent my city, my state, my district, if he get up there and act a damn fool, man, that's on me. So let me make sure before I cast my vote that I'm doing the right thing. Let me make sure I vet this guy. Now, obviously, you have politicians that will lie, say they're going to do something and they don't do it. We see that happening right now. They'll say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to bring prices down, I'm going to create jobs, I'm going to do all of this grand stuff. And then when they get in, first thing they want to do is go build a ballroom. They want to spend $200 million on a ballroom. You know what I'm saying? So you have people like that. But you're going to have to at least trick me. I'm not going in knowing that you don't do your work. You don't do the work. I'm not going in knowing that you're straight up lying already. I'm not going in like that. I'm going to go in with the idea that I'm thinking that, okay, at least I think this guy is going to do the right thing. I think. And if they don't do the right thing, then now the onus is on me to make sure that they don't get another shot. But the problem is, once these guys get in Congress, oftentimes it's very difficult to replace them. It's very difficult to remove them from that seat. It's like they get stuck to that seat like crazy glue or something is on their ass. It's like they get stuck. And one of the reasons they get stuck is we get stuck. As voters, we get stuck on familiarity. We get used to that name being out there. So we end up voting off name recognition as opposed to issues, platforms. We vote on name recognition. So that's how you end up with a do-nothing mayor or a do-nothing congressman, a do-nothing senator. We have these people in there year after 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 year. They go in there, they served, I ain't gonna even say served, but they go in there and they collected a check and they're representing our district, our state for 20, 30, 40, 50 years doing nothing but taking up space. I mean, doing nothing. But that's on us because we're dumb enough to continue to re-elect them. We're dumb enough to not hold them accountable. If you're not going to hold somebody accountable, what's the incentive for them to change their behavior? There is none. If you're not going to hold someone accountable for doing what they're supposed to do, what's the incentive for them to do it? There is none.